All right, looking at ReShade today. You can download it at reshade.me, and it does post processing. I run into it. Uh, you hear about it. It mods a lot. Uh, so I mean, it's dealing with shaders. So those little programs that run on GPUs. Or whenever your game launches up and takes a long time to load the shaders. That's similar, same thing. This is just like the last step is typically is when I've been applying ReShade, uh, and I've used it a little bit on getting 2D games into like some 3D. So it doesn't uh, like the last one was 3D vision, like just was enabling 3D, but this doesn't have access to all of that. So some people call it fake 3D. It's just it'll use some depth estimation to try to give you some 3D. That's the con. The pros are it works on anything. So like where for FX you had to have a profile and 3D vision, you'd have like very specific requirements for what games are supported. This can run on anything. It's just it's the post processing aspect of it that's a pro and a con. And so now we will. Well, okay, you have to download it. I've already downloaded it. There's two versions. Uh, the one has the add-on, so the add-on will give you a warning about getting banned for multiplayer. So I don't know what those. I've never used the add-ons, but so let's close that one. I've always just used this one without the add-on. It doesn't warn me, so I'm like, all right, good. And then it loads up all your games. This is nice. I like that. One thing I wish it would do is I wish it would show me what stuff I've already applied a shader to. We'll look at that later when we go to if I show you how to uninstall one. But so I'm gonna Pinball FX2 is what we want. I don't know why I have two exes here. But I'm picking the one with the graphic. It auto figures out like so. This is like where the previous 3D vision without the old driver was only DirectX 9. You can see this has got everything, which is this is why this is nice, and it tries to figure out what it is. This one did figure out that it's DirectX 9, so it got it right. And then these, I don't like. There's a lot of options. I don't know what these mean. For the 3D stuff, I take this one off. SuperDepth, it's on by default. I need the standard, right? It's there. And then I want Depth 3D and this. I think I've seen some YouTube videos by Blue Sky Defender where he sets this stuff up. I'll link some of the ones I might have seen in the past. Otherwise, like but he does. I don't. I do very basic stuff in my setups. This is what I get, and so it's installed. Now, well, let's just show you if I want to. No, we'll show that later. So if I run it, it's going to get applied. So let's go ahead. And so here's an overlay. This is ReShade kicking in, and it wants me to press the home key. I don't have a keyboard, so I'm going to use my virtual home. So on the first setup, add-on settings. So this is, since I'm in VR already, this is a little wonky to set up. If I usually do this initial setup and even the install at a desktop. Like I remote into my headless computer and I set it up one time and then I just launch the game normally from then on. But we'll go ahead and show it in here. So I'm going to say continue. You can see it's clicking through to the games. Just
Return of the Jedi.
If I'm purchasing DLC or something, we'll see what happens. But again, I say continue. So it's already got SuperDepth 3D. On those buttons, I'm usually having to tap them. Sometimes I have to tap them twice. It just won't take it. It doesn't. The initial taps doesn't always work. So like continue. If I, yeah, didn't get it. Got it the second time. Here now is where I'm going to actually do settings. So I need to try to scroll this up. I do a double. Can I get a double tap in here? All right. So that's the trickiest part. And for settings in here, maybe if I can try to make this a little wider. Okay. Where I mainly go for is depth map. And so I've got, you can see it applied already. It's already giving me side by side. And in virtual desktop, I just kind of click at the bottom and where I get my keyboard. On the other side, I would click into half side by side. So then it would, render one eye, other eye, and then I'd get the 3D effect. Don't exactly know how this is going to record, but hopefully it'll be decent. Now, the first thing I do is I'm going to try to like dial in the 3D. So this one is already set. Let's reset this. So if they have that little circle next to it, it means it's not the default value. But that near plane adjustment, this is normally the only thing I change. But first, we want to see it. So the way you can see the 3D with the 3D effect is kind of like going to do something is you can select stereo depth, which is going to show the 3D effect here, or normal depth, which will show it like without the side by side. So let's go ahead and try this. Oh, well, I did this. Let's try to get into a table. Oh, I need to start my controller.
I am Luke Skywalker, Jedi Knight and friend Captain Solo.
All right, hang on.
Okay. Now let's try this again. All right, so I would kind of expect to see a grayscale image representing the table where stuff that's closer would be, starting to go black and stuff that farther away to the white. Instead, I've got this gray box, which I've seen before. So we need to get out of here. So I'm going to turn this off. I need to change a setting in the game. Home? Okay, now let's try to see if I can get to it with the controller. Graphics. Okay, so I have this. It's the anti-alias. I think so it's got, these are the options. I'm just going to turn it off entirely. I think what happens is did mess up my, I can't read this. It doesn't like this in side by side. The text is pretty choppy. I don't know if you can see how horrible that looks. We'll see if it looks better in, but it may just be because it's half side by side. If it was full side by side, we could probably read it. Let's get back into a table. But I think what happens with the anti-alias is the shaders need to read like your graphics buffer, and I think the anti-aliasing is messing it up somehow.
Super League Football.
All right, so let's just kind of get
On
to
paper, their
the
opponents are quite
plunger
solid,
part.
but results recently suggest a
Okay,
mid-table
so
finish is likely.
we want to see this, like this guy's kind of close to us, right? That's what we want to see in the depth map. So I'm gonna go back to home. Turn that preview on. I'll do stereo. Okay, yeah, this is way better. So the stuff that's nearer will be dark, and the stuff that's like, so he's closer to us. And then the tape, like these ramps are further away, so they're lighter gray. And then you can see these are the, like if you change something, this is where it's telling you that you're going to revert it back in case you totally mess something up, which I definitely do on this. Now on these, I can select them, and I can drag them, which is nice. So I can kind of see. Now you don't want to go to where he's like full black, where it's like full black and full white. It's all washed out. That's you're like losing, values if you're just on. You've gone to black and you've lost any sort of gray in between. So you want to stay within a gray. I see a lot of people that kind of start at about 75, and you can go higher. Let's see. See, that's where it's starting to get. It's just that's too dark. I would never go that dark. Let's try. I always go. I like subtle when I'm doing this. Right, it's that fake 3D. So I'm gonna go about 75. The other one I've seen people change is auto near plane. And then when I say people, I mean other VR YouTubers. They'll change this one. This one is weird because it says the default is 0.1, but look, they lied. The default is 0.05. So you might bump this. I've seen other people, they bump this up to 0.1. I don't know, but here's resetting it. We're not going to change that one for now. And then if you go up here, the other one is like 0 parallax. I see some people put this between like, I know there's a Redditor that'll bump this up to like 0.09. Let's see if we can see it do stuff. Oh, come on. No. Oh, well, that definitely does stuff. 0.09, that seems like it's way too dark. There's definitely more stuff happening in the background though. I can see the table moving. So it was at 0.025, let's do 0.05. What else is there? I know I've seen one of the Blue Sky Defenders videos where he's changed this before to like narrow, where it's detecting boundaries. And that one may make sense here. In that video, he's talking about like the boundaries, the narrowness is kind of like in the middle. And that may make sense for a table, right? You really want to do it, and like on the edges, you may not care. But I haven't changed any of that. This is a experiment on, we're doing an experiment right now. So far, so good. But let's get this applied. I can, like normally I wouldn't apply the parallax distance. I would normally just do the depth map. And I use this view, but then now let's show you the other one. So this is the stereo. Now if I go to normal depth, so it's giving me the depth without the side by side. So I can't see what's happening on this edge of the table though, but it shows me more like a better view of what's happening here. But we need to turn that off now. All right. And let's just apply it. Okay, so now if I could just get it to go to there. Good. Why is it not? I wish my menu would go away. Why is it showing my computer top? Hey, why are you in a window? You should be full screen. Let's see if that, get rid of that real quick. In window mode? Settings. No, I don't want window. I want full screen. Keep changes. All right. This is, yeah, sorry. Don't know how that.
Super
Let's get
League
back in.
football.
All right. So still our ReShade changes are applied. Now I need to kick virtual desktop into displaying half side by side. So that's where I would open the keyboard. It's over here. So now I'm seeing 3D. The rails definitely are 3D. Let's go ahead and I can
Games
read
like
this.
this
That
can
looks
prove
good.
tricky, but winning against mid-table
Okay, this
opposition will
guy,
be the
he's
manager's
definitely
main
closer.
target.
His edges are a little bright, but I'm not going to see him long, so we'll just get it going. All right, let's try to get it trapped. So the rails are a little jagged. I definitely see 3D. My controls are, oh, wait, why am I doing this? Let's
Looking
do
sloppy in possession.
X-Arcade 2TV. Let's see if, make sure those controls are working.
Calmly dealt with by.
If they keep giving the ball away like that, it won't be long
sure
before
enough.
they concede a goal.
X-Arcade is great. Try to get it trapped again. And let's try changing the control, the view. I mean, there is some 3D. It just doesn't look as good graphically. Once I start playing, I like it. I totally ignore any jaggeds in the that's happening. Maybe there's another shader that I can do to make it a little sharper, as well, along with the after the post processing, or along with the post processing. Now let's try another experiment. Let's get out. Yeah, so I can read the text now. Remember, I couldn't read the text in side by side, but it looks good now. And I'm getting 3D effects in these menus as well. All right, but okay, now this just looks horrible to me because I have to turn off half side by side. That's super jarring to have that happen. I wish there was like some signal going back and forth between apps to let you say, hey, switch to side by side, and hey, switch out of half side by side, because when you're in it and it looks good and you jump out and it looks horrible. When you're not in it and you're rendering side by side, it looks fine. You're just like, okay, I need to switch it over. But when you're coming out, you're like, oh my gosh, it's jarring. Oh yeah, I was gonna try this. This is probably a bad idea. So let's go to portrait here. Like so, we couldn't. Let's see. So like if I'm doing half side by side, is it's like now it's got to be rendered within this half, so it's already a small half. Maybe I need to have it where it does top and bottom at this point to get more resolution out of it. Let's see what happens. So it's already got the settings, right? So we just have to launch it. Yeah, it probably should be. It really should be top and bottom. I don't know. We'll see if we can get that to work. Is that an option? Home. All right. This is the.
Is this going to be a stand-up fight, sir, or another bug hunt?
Okay. But I thought that was Vicent. Let me see. Where do I have a side-by-side option? Oh, side-by-side. Ooh, top and bottom. Dare we click it? Is it top and bottom? I can't. Let's get rid of you. Sure looks like top and bottom. That seems like you would have more resolution to share this way. All right, let's try that. Let's get into a... So now here, I'm going to, instead of half side by side, I'm just going to go over under. Sometimes it's over under, sometimes it's TAB, top and bottom. Doesn't look great in this menu. What game am I on?
Super League football.
Same game. Oh, this doesn't look bad. Try to trap it. All right. Yeah, this looks better than the menu. I changed it, so the camera changes will be more subtle because we're in portrait. Yeah, so the edges are a little distracting. I'm getting a little brightness off the side. That's where I need to maybe watch one of those videos where he's talking about the narrowness to say kind of ignore the edges a little bit. I think the 3D looks good. It's still like the rails these are pretty thin rails and they're just still a little jagged. I kind of want my anti-aliasing back. I don't know if I can turn on some anti-aliasing or if I can just have a shader do anti-aliasing to sharpen this up. That would be good. Along with the SuperDepth. But it just does not look as good. But if I start playing back to X Arcade, I mean, I like the 3D depth. And once I start playing, I don't really notice that the graphics aren't as sharp.
You just seem to lose control of the ball at the vital moment.
And plus, this will just work with everything. Yeah, that looks bad. That looks good. All right, that's all.